Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves, he explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Take a picture.
Down by the lot near the old cafe where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block, chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and they're drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's the parking crew and the riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin, who parks skill? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss, duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams, salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes from a line, no dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan, fight them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this line here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
Something strange happening there. That wasn't supposed to happen. We have a mixing error tonight, folks. Well, so much for the opening of the program. Sorry about that. That was a bit of an error there. A button got pushed. You're fired. Yes, I'm not sure how that happened. Save South Africa came up there. Sorry about that, folks. Yes, 2 songs crossing over at the same time. Courtney says the introduction will be way long. Well, you haven't been here a long time. You have no, squatters' rights, Courtney. You've buggered off for a while, and so you get no say here. You get no say. You've been gone for far too long. So you can't just walk in here as a Johnny-come-lately and start demanding things, Courtney. I mean, good Lord, what are you 95, Courtney? You're only 42. It's like, 9 o'clock in Utah. Dude, come on. Sack up. Be a man. Work people, hello to you. Kratos, Christopher Meyer, Mr. Echo, Samantha Von Eck, Wendy, Ulrich Reichs, Medic. Dogzilla's here. There's people from the out west showing up on the show. We got Wyoming, Washington State. We've got Utah showing up on the show. Who else? We got Dogzilla, I already mentioned there. Wendy. Who else we got here? That was all. Geese Britz is there. Okay. Is it Mitten? Francois Andla, welcome to you. And then Teddy Carollo. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Jean Spence, Henry Jacobs, Caitlin's back. Bernadette Conaway, welcome to you. Chantal Fenter, Marianne DeLung, AJ Quinn, Kay's Garden. I'm looking for OGs tonight. Are they out taking a night off? Cordy's been around a long time. He's almost an OG, but he's demanding tonight. What else we got there? Social Media Therapy, Dougie Raymond. Shannon Edwards, multitasking. Well, you're doing better than Microsoft. Congratulations. Ronel Coloti, welcome to you. Ingrid's Inspirations, Francis Ruiz, Wendy Martin, Tunis Bota. Oh, my goodness. Little Miss Know-It-All's back. Family, Fun and Games. Tony Pretorius, Richard Reeves, Rainier von Grensburg. Carlos Freight is back. Hey, Carlos. Green Mamba, Multipass. Multipass, Lelu Dallas, Multipass. Yeah, we know it's you, Lelu. Okay, Peter Talliard, Mandy, Shannon, Brian Lauritsen's back. Philip Holtz, Sam Reed, Rhonda Absalon. I know someone named Joe Absalon. That's the dude who played in Doc Martin. Delivery mail and had mandatory overtime. Mandatory overtime? Well, cool. It won't be taxable under Trump's new law. Good to see you. Go Army. My sons and I will be picketing outside the American Embassy next week. I have informed John from New York Times as well that we will be doing so as well as the embassy. Why are you picketing outside the American Embassy? And do you have a permit for it? Gerda van Leuven. George, welcome to you. Dolores Burmeister. Shalom from Cape Town. I hear the name Burmeister and Shalom doesn't come straight to my mind. Pat Schultz, Bloodcup, struggling to find the like button tonight. It's not a good sign. Maybe your eyes are off a little bit there. Hey, Tony Pretorius from Brits. All right, good to see you there. Be careful. Dangerous area around Brits. Yep. Yeah, but I love Northwest. The Holliesburg, that kind of place. Anyway, folks, what a day. So, excuse me, I got a little scratching going on here. Sure, it's itching me. Steve Punk Angel Gaming, welcome to you. Let's see. We did our show earlier, did some videos, went to see the doctor, got an x-ray, scheduled for an MRI. Of course, the insurer has to approve the MRI. I waited 7 weeks for this appointment. He looked at it and he has a feeling what it might be, but the x-ray might tell him something. If it doesn't, then the MRI. If the x-ray tells him what he's looking for, then we won't. So he asked me, I like this about my general practitioner, my doc. He asked me, how I felt about it. I said, well, I explained the whole story about the physiotherapist telling me that, they replace hips. I'm like, you're not doing surgery. A little bit later when we were talking, he said, well, I can refer you to a sports medicine or we can refer you to an orthopedic surgeon. The surgeon's going to be inclined to cut. Or the sports medicine guys can't do surgery, so he's going to be inclined to find another solution, and oftentimes it can be solved potentially without surgery. I'm like, that sounds like a good plan, so let's go for that. So I'm going to get a referral to a sports physician. It's a shame that I didn't get to see the guys in South Africa, the physios or the medical guys from the 2 rugby teams that offered to see me. It just didn't work out. That would have been nice. Software used to create the great music. Dogzilla, I mentioned over and over again, Suno. I've said it a million times, Suno. Did you ask that question last night? I thought somebody asked it last night. I mentioned it last night. Carmen Henson. Maybe you weren't here when I did it, Dogzilla. Courtney says, I'm getting my first colonoscopy in October. That's early. Really? I didn't get my first colonoscopy till I was 54. It's my only colonoscopy. So I was at the Wednesday night, last night, I was at the county seat, and I hate driving down there. On the way down, I got down to one of the villages before I got to the town, because there's no major highway from here to there. I have to go on backcountry roads, or I have to drive north on the state route, then pay a toll to go across the turnpike, then go south on a state route, which is always packed at 5 o'clock, then get off and get on a state route, which is packed. Interstate, so we took up a state route. And it sucks. So I go backcountry, and then I ran into this freaking park. As far as I could see, for like 3 kilometers, it was traffic, not moving. So I cut cross country, got there finally. Got there, I don't know, about 10, 15 minutes to spare, which was good. But anyway, so they were saying something to me, and I talked about it, and I said, yeah, I know, I like this about as much as, I like coming here about as much as I like getting a colonoscopy. As early as 45. Well, the Army didn't tell me that. That would have been nice. Should have had 2 before I even got out of the Army then. Cheap bastards. From Rustenburg, and highway is dangerous. Yes, Teddy, it is. It didn't used to be. I used to drive that road all the time from Habaroni to Pretoria. Never had a problem. Is it the N4? I think it is. I'm trying to remember. I think N4. Anyway, yeah. I used to drive it all the time. But then they started spiking vehicles, and also people break down and murder people on the road. There have been a guy was shot right in front of his kids. It was horrible there. It's such a sick country. It's a shame. I had a colonoscopy done here in Washington State, and the guy they had there put me down, gas, told me he used Sadaf. He used to be in the Sadaf. Okay. Barity Finance Department, welcome to you. Good to see you again. Okay. They're protesting and closed the N4. Ah, yeah. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. It is. We're holding on until we're there, says Tony Pretorius. Okay. All right. So I did a video earlier. I hope people found it helpful. Werner Kotsia, welcome to you. I hope you found it helpful and useful. Thank you, Courtney, for the super chat, both of you. I think the alert box is turned off. Yeah, it's turned off. There we go. So if you super chat now, it should come up. That's for both super chats. Thank you. I don't see Arctic. I don't see Erica. I don't see Hendo. They must be tired tonight. Don't blame them. They work really hard. Yeah, so let me get to that. So I made this video earlier, and I'm hoping people found it informative. It's what's the real story behind the Kenyan angle in South African refugee story. So must be where I get the Suna from. Thanks. I'm going to Blues Festival. Okay. I'll be off work for colon procedure. I'd rather be consuming a diet of laxatives. It's liver mail. Well, that's not good. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Script. Okay, so this is the video I'm talking about from earlier. Recorded this afternoon. In central Pennsylvania. Earlier today, Thursday, the 17th of July, 2025, I was inundated by WhatsApp calls, messages, Telegram, emails about this Kenyan angle to the South African refugee program for coming to the U.S. And it kind of caught me off guard. It all stems from a post on Twitter or X by the Amerikaners, a group that's trying to help South Africans make their way to the U.S. Can you believe I actually have 3 dislikes? See, I don't hide my dislikes. Look at that. Dislikes, 3. What a pathetic bunch of hate wankers to, look, this is what I have to say to somebody. If you dislike a video that's informative, that gives people information, you can go shove it up your rectum. What is wrong with people like that? This is not a political position. I'm not telling you to come here. I'm not telling you not to come here. I'm not promoting it. I'm not dissuading from it. It's simply a factual, accurate, prescient, analytical video which explains, and 3 people disliked it. They can go shove it. I mean, it's just such pathetic hate wankers that hang out on social media. Such pathetic hate wankers. I don't usually pay attention to dislikes, but I mean, I look at this. There's 181 likes and 3 dislikes. Just such pathetic losers. Total losers. Anyway, so I took 2 different camera angles in that, so I was there. Then I jumped head to this where I was standing outside the...
What if one simple chew could turn...
That's an advert. We don't need that. See, I have to watch my own adverts. All right, so here I am. With the statement of interest, or I put the PRM email in, but so-and-so came and went. Folks, there's no rhyme or reason how they're doing this. As far as we know, they're taking them at random. It's not because you have been abused. That's not giving you a special spot in the queue. You're no more special than anybody else. They're handling them as they can. And understand. Anyway, so yeah, so that was earlier. I hope that's helpful. Yeah, so anyway, again, nothing for or against Amerikaners, but they didn't inform me of this, so I had to go do the research, and they put me in a tough spot because I'm the one that gets all the questions, gets all the emails and messages, and I mean, literally hundreds of messages came over this today, folks. Can you confirm this? Is this real? Who is this? What's that? I mean, it's just, I had to make the video. Even if I didn't want to make the video, I had to make the video. Yeah, what is this like, Carlos? I mean, what is this like unless you're a sick, twisted bastard? I mean, that's the only thing, there's a reason for anybody to dislike that, you know? Only reason. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so the Wall Street Journal, which is proven to be a disgrace, so disappointing. It used to be a reliable, conservative, center-right newspaper which reported the news, and its op-eds were good. Now it's become a leftist rag, and it's owned by the Murdoch Corporation. Can you believe that? Rupert Murdoch's news corporation owns the Wall Street Journal, and they've turned into a shit newspaper, an unbelievably worthless rag. What did they do tonight? They ran propaganda, and guess what? You know, Fox had to pay, what, $750 million previously for a settlement for something they did? Dig in your pockets, boys. The Murdoch family's going to have to pay for this because they've come after Trump, and they're going to be caught in a libel lawsuit. That's what's going to happen. But before we get to that, I got to show you this. Now, I'm going to have to stop it because I'll get in trouble with the music. But, I mean, you know, Queen said fat bottom girls make the world go round. You know, that's what they said. Fat bottom girls make the world go round. And maybe they had a point. Maybe I just didn't get it, you know. But I got to turn the audio off so I don't get a copyright because there's music in the background. But trust me, there's some good rap music in the background here. But I'm not making this up. So fat bottom girls make the world go round. I thought I'd share this with you tonight. Thought you might find this interesting. So anyway, and you know what Sir Mix-a-Lot said? I like big butts and I have to say. Anyway, so if Sir Mix-a-Lot likes big butts, he's going to love this video. Man, hard boots. What the hell was that? Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God, I'm going to watch it again. That's pretty bold. Dogzilla's claim, is it now legal to criticize anything Trump? No, it isn't illegal to criticize. It's illegal to slander or libel someone with a fake letter. That's what they've done here. Government ministers. Kathy sent me an email. Okay, I'll try it again. I did. If you sent it recently, I replied to you, so maybe you sent it recently. Let me see. You sent me. Oh, there it is. I think you got it. All right. So my image helped. There you go. So we can play that now. Where's it at? Where's it download at? There it is. Yeah, success, Kathy. I can load it up.
Another day is arise. We are still in the same place of disarray. Hope is in the distance. I can see a tiny glimpse of light, just a tiny, tiny light. It is there, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance. in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive, yesterday has gone, but this I know, today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance.
All right. Well, I got it. Thank you for that, Kathy. I will load that up tonight onto Spotify. All right. Cool beans. I just got to capture the image where I like the photo of me standing there at the end at the Opie Place when I'm just kind of looking like this. That's a good photo, so I'll make that the cover for it. Thank you for that. It's beautiful. It's awesome. Brilliant song. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so you figured it out, Kathy. Yeah, that's the thing is that when I load it up, it has to be in WAV format because it's a higher quality. That's why it took a moment to convert it. And then it comes out better sounding on all the platforms. So that's why they prefer WAV. WAV is a higher quality than MP3. MP3 is one of the early versions. It's the most common one we all know, but it's an earlier version of it. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, back to the Trump story. What I was trying to say about the Trump story is that they are slandering him. So let me get to that. So the Wall Street Journal runs an article. First off, this article, Ghislaine Maxwell had a collection of letters. She's in prison. This letter is something that obviously the Wall Street Journal has had for some time. For some time. They didn't just come across this. Yet they run this letter tonight. And of course, it's declared that it's fake. And many people, I did this earlier today. I posted this for those people who are obsessed with this Epstein story, who claim to be conservatives. I published this on my Twitter account. Oh, it's not there. Hang on. It's going to be over here. That folder. Come on, where's it at? Oh no, it's under pictures. Hang on, I'm sorry. Okay, what was it? Come on, what is that thing? I forgot what I called it now. God bless it. It'll be quicker for me to go to my Twitter account and do it that way. Okay. Hang on a second. Twitter. Let's go there. Just be quicker for me to do it that way because I can't remember what the heck I called it. I have a busy day. Profile. There it is. Oh, I published it 5 hours ago. Here we go. So, I know it. I know how to find it. So, while the so-called MAGA base is losing its mind, ignoring the Butler cover-up and the crimes of the Biden regime and using proxies to violate our First Amendment rights, look who comes out to put things in perspective, the Washington Post, of all people. No credible allegation. If you are genuine patriots, start demanding answers on Butler, Zuckerberg, and Dorsey with the same enthusiasm you have for Epstein. And this was in the Washington Post earlier today. And then after the Washington Post ran this, then the Wall Street Journal ran an article trying to slander Trump. So it's going to be under, I think, WAPO is what I call it. Let's see if it's there. Yeah, there it is, WAPO on Trump Epstein. Sorry, it took me a moment to remember what the heck it was because I did this earlier today. So this is from Washington Post screenshot, and then it's my highlighting around it. So this is what I put out earlier. The bottom line from the Washington Post is we have documented 17 women have claimed that Trump engaged in sexual misconduct. A Manhattan jury found that Trump sexually abused and defamed one woman on our list. Of course, that was a bogus law, and there were statute of limitations have been exceeded. But no credible allegation has emerged to connect Trump to any of Epstein's crimes. If the full file is ever released, we are confident that no connection would be found between Trump and Epstein. Rest assured, if Trump were prominently mentioned, it would have been leaked by now. And this is what kills me about these so-called conservatives, so-called Republicans. That's exactly the truth. It would have been leaked by now. But so what do we get now? We get some bogus slander campaign by Murdoch scumbags that run Fox News, which is, fake news just like CNN, but people don't believe it. Yep. So here we go. Epstein. Oh, this is disgraceful. I hope they get hit with another lawsuit. Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him bawdy letters for 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. The leather-bound book was compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell. The president says the letters are fake. It was Epstein's 50th birthday, and Ghislaine Maxwell was preparing a special gift to mark the occasion. She turned to Epstein's family and friends. One of them was Trump. Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's other associates for a 2003 birthday album, according to documents read by the Wall Street Journal. Pages from the leather-bound album, assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006, are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein. So how in the world do they have it if the Justice Department has it? Letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy. Like others in the album, it contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker, and a pair of small arcs denoting the woman's breasts. And the future president's signature is squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. Yeah, okay. So, Wall Street Journal. CNN reports the Wall Street Journal reported. Trump, in an interview with the Journal, denied he wrote the letter or drew the picture and threatened to sue the newspaper if it published the story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women, he said. It's not my language. It's not my words. In response to the story, Trump posted on Truth Social that he'd ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. She quickly responded X that she was ready to do so on Friday, though the process of getting judges to sign off on such a move would take considerably longer. Earlier in the evening, Trump vowed to sue the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch, saying that he and the White House press secretary Carol Levin had warned them about publishing the story and that the letter was fake. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Mr. Murdoch shortly. Vice President also weighed in and said this story is complete and utter bullshit. MAGA world leaps to Trump's defense over alleged Epstein letter. Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit, J.D. Vance said. President Trump's allies rushed to dismiss a report that he sent a salacious letter to accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Trump raged at the Journal after publishing the story. You see this? You see this garbage we have to deal with? Do you see this garbage? When Kennedy was president, he would write something like that. They would cover it up. Here they just make stuff up about Trump. They make stuff up. Hey, Shawnee, what's going on? It's not that MAGA thinks there's a Trump connection. It's that we know pedos are involved and that people will not let go of. No, I'm sorry, Jesse. When those people show the same enthusiasm for the Butler cover-up, for the near assassination of president, which changed history, which could have changed it for a horrible trajectory had we had misfortune and Trump not turned his head. When they care as much about the Butler cover-up, when they care as much about the government of the United States colluding with tech firms, use them as proxies to silence my First Amendment right and remove my channel on YouTube and silence me on X when I said nothing that was illegal, nothing was immoral, nothing was criminal, nothing that broke the rules, simply didn't like the fact that I called them out on their bullshit and I was correct, and they silenced me. When these so-called MAGA rats care about the First Amendment being abrogated by the Biden regime and the FBI, National Institutes for Health, the CDC, Dr. Fraud, and all these other scumbags, when they care as much about that and want an investigation into Zuckerberg and Dorsey, when they care as much about that, or the cover-up that nearly killed a president, then I'll start listening to them moaning about their obsession with pedos, their desire for finding out about pedos. This is sick. Go rent some porn. Go, it's on the internet. It's free. You can watch it if you're obsessed with this. There is no evidence whatsoever other than rank speculation about this whole story. When actual evidence comes, the Epstein files were released on February 23rd, and there was nothing in it. Binders full of paper. It doesn't matter what they expose, what they share. It'll be still some fake MAGA people going, oh, well, they're still hiding something. Oh, you're leaving now. Oh, God, I'm sorry, Jesse. You didn't like hearing that? You didn't like hearing that? Wow. Okay, we'll turn on. Okay, you know what? We don't care about the attempt to assassinate Trump, and we don't care about the silencing people on social media. All I cared about is hearing about the Epstein files, because we know it's full of peds, and we got to discover who all those people are, because that'll change the world. That'll change the world. All you people that aren't around when incest occurs and when children are sexually abused, and suddenly you care about Epstein, you know what? We're with you now. You serious, Jesse? So you're leaving. You're leaving because you didn't hear what you want. Wow. I don't hear what I wanted from a lot of people. I don't walk away. Wow. 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 I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Does anybody who wants the files actually think that anything that comes out of the files will lead to anything? We have Hillary Clinton dead to rights for violation of the Espionage Act over and over again. Never charged. Never charged. We have Barack Obama for violating the law of extrajudicial assassinations. Never charged. Never charged. Does anybody honestly think there's anything in the so-called Epstein files that's actually going to change anything? I mean, honestly, let me ask you that question. Are you still here, Jesse, or did you take off? Do you think there's anything in those files that's going to lead to somebody? That's going to lead to somebody. I don't. I don't. Wow. Other high-profile MAGA figures and far-right activists, including Charlie Kirk, Jack Probisek, and Laura Loomer, deemed the letter, which the Wall Street Journal did not publish in its entirety, fabrication. Laura Loomer says, I'm calling bullshit on this Trump birthday letter. It's totally fake. Everyone who knows President Trump knows he doesn't type letters. Right. He handwrites them. Trump has faced backlash from his base in recent days for his administration's handling of the Epstein case. After hyping up files from investigation that were rumored to expose a global client list, the president's top officials have said there's nothing more to be learned from the unreleased material. Trump even lashed out at some of his own supporters, calling them weaklings and believing the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. That's what he said. Yeah, Philip, I know most people are upset with it too. So Jesse's leaving. Well, I'm sorry to see you go, Jesse. But I mean, I don't tell people what they want to hear, despite a certain comment or content creator falsely claiming I tell people what they want to hear. I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people how I see it. I analyze it, and I'm usually pretty accurate. So anyway, yeah, you know, the files were released on February 23rd. February 23rd. So why are we still obsessing about this? This is because people don't like Pam Bondi. They want her gone. That's where this all comes from. That's where it all stems from. They don't like Pam Bondi. They want her gone. Well, I'm waiting for prosecutions against the Biden regime officials. That's what I want from Pam Bondi. It doesn't mean I want her gone. I want to see it, though. No, he's not a troll. He's not a troll. He didn't like what I had to say. He's not a troll. Don't go picking on him either, if he's still here. But, I mean, seriously, you're going to leave because you didn't like what I had to say? Anyway, so there's no reason to pick on the guy because he's not a bad guy. Just saying bye because he didn't like what I had to say. You know, I don't know what to tell people. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you want to hear. I'm just going to tell you how it is. And you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. I mean, that's you know, I don't have to do this for self-actualization. I mean, I've achieved that in the past in other ways. Yeah, Prince Andrew. Yeah, we know about Prince Andrew. We know about Prince Andrew. That one's not a surprise. Arnold says, that's the biggest reason for listening to you, Colonel, is that you say it as it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, that I could be wrong about these Epstein files, but again, when are people, I mean, nobody. Nope. Oh, yeah, Dogzilla's being silly. Oh, you smell the troll, Dogzilla. I thought you were talking about Jesse. No. Yeah, Dogzilla's trolling, and he's going to get spanked, and he knows it. So I'll wait till he does a super chat, and then he does it again. We'll spank him. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I don't believe in conspiracies, but at some point, the Butler thing, you have to start to ask the question. Where is Alex Jones asking the questions about Butler, Pennsylvania? Where is Laura Loomer screaming about, you know, what happened in Butler? Where? Guys, the president was nearly murdered by some young punk sitting on a roof that wasn't even guarded with no overwatch within rifle shot of the president. He fired 8 shots before he was taken out by a sniper. He reconnoitered the ground for an hour and a half before he murdered. He climbed up on a building. There was no overwatch. There was no one there. How in the world does such a thing happen? How? And why is it we have no answers a year later? His social media was immediately removed and scrubbed by all the tech companies and hidden from sight so we couldn't find it. All knowledge of his existence seems to have disappeared. What about the attempted assassination in Florida? We've heard nothing about that. By the way, these are the 2 assassinations that you and I know about. Do you know there are other assassination attempts on the president you've never heard of? Yeah. Why? Why? Why is there no outrage over this? Can you imagine a world if Trump had been assassinated in July of 2024? Kamala Harris as president? Iran with nuclear weapons now? The U.S. $45 trillion in debt, spending $10 trillion a year that we don't have. Can you imagine? That's where we're headed. I don't get it. Yes, Peter, the letter's a fake, and she is guilty. And no, it wasn't only Epstein that went there. And oh, by the way, most of them weren't minors. See, that's the whole thing that's being played out. That look, one is too many, but most of them weren't minors. They make it out as if it was all 7-year-olds that were down there. That wasn't the case. So anyway, just check the kettle, huh? Exactly, Dreamliner. Everyone, the physician for the former president pleading the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. All the officials pleading the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination because there are, 1 or 2, maybe the words are going to be twisted, but so many, obviously, they're involved in something bad. And we haven't even gotten to the using the tech companies as agents to silence speech. Haven't even gotten to that. That's what I want Pam Bondi to get off her ass and get doing. Yeah, anyway. But there are so many crimes committed during the Biden years, meaning the Obama years, which weren't even delved into previously, but so many crimes committed during the Biden years that I think the Justice Department would be bothered full time just covering them. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know why this hatred of Pam Bondi started, but this is where this all started. And it started before the Epstein thing. They were angry at her before Epstein. They're already starting this stuff, the so-called MAGA crowd. Look, you can disagree with Trump. I disagree with Trump. See, that's the thing, okay, sorry, you got to go, Kathy. That's when Dogzilla is being a smartass. So he says, you can't criticize Trump. Are you high? I criticize the president frequently. I just criticized him for arming Ukraine. I just criticized him last night for arming Ukraine. I disagree with that vehemently. It's not the right approach. So, I mean, this nonsense, you can't criticize Trump, that's ridiculous. No, that's ridiculous. That's just a silly comment. It's like the idiots that call me all kinds of names, and the evidence is clearly to the opposite of it. Pam Bondi came out against the Second Amendment. When did that happen? He's almost murdered, and people don't care to be as insistent on such an awful thing as their obsession. Yeah. No, Ingrid. Yeah, I agree. And for that, people are going to leave my channel. They don't want to watch my content because I'm angry that no one wants to find out who tried to murder the president, what that was all about. I mean, folks, I didn't make a big stink about this until we found out recently from the Senate that the Secret Service had a classified report with a credible threat to the president's life in Butler on that date, the 13th of July, 2024. They knew about it. And they didn't find out 5 minutes before it happened. And it wasn't crooks. It was 10 days prior. Yet they sent 3 times as many Secret Service agents to guard Dr. Jill Biden in Pittsburgh. And nobody's upset about this. Nobody's upset about this. I wonder how did he get so close with a rifle and not be... Exactly. People saw him, walking around. What's this guy doing? They filmed him. Yeah, point's 100% valid, and these are all failures. Exactly. But are they failures, Odin's Viking, or are they intentional? Were they intentional? Look, I don't want to play the role of Alex Jones here, but were they intentional? Was Biden trying to get Trump killed? Exactly, Linsicki. You can't have perfect. That's why, look, I'm not jumping off the Trump train. I'm not attacking Trump. You can disagree. That's my point. I disagreed. And I said when Trump won on November, what did I say? And I said it on my Common Sense Conservatives radio broadcast. And I said it there. I said, and I said, here, I will hold the president accountable. I will hold him accountable. If he says something I disagree with, he has a policy I disagree with, then I'll hold him accountable. I don't like the big, beautiful bill. I don't like it. I also don't like the fact they just, cut people at the State Department just like that. Or the way they got rid of USAID. I'm not saying I'm a fan of USAID or an opponent, but the way it was done was wrong, was brutal, was incorrect, and it's caused all kinds of problems. Some of the problems we're having in the refugee program right now, that people don't realize are problems, I realize are problems, are a consequence of just cutting people and cutting money without a glide path to exit. Look, I mean, you don't take your car to the car dealer and he changes the spark plugs and you have a V8, so you need 8 spark plugs, and he only has 6. You're like, okay, just leave the other 2 out, and then you drive away. It doesn't work like that. You finish the job. Then you go away. You saw Secret Service agent pointing a rifle at Trump. Didn't see that. Intentionally failures, but a Trump administration failure. What's a Trump administration failure, Odin? And Patrick thinks Kamala and Soros plan to hit. I don't know. You always give us the facts, then you offer your opinion the way it should be. Well, that's what I do. But my opinion is informed by experience and success and a vast background of knowledge, not just eating Cheetos on a couch. Just grasping at straws, trying tit for tat. Yeah, it's just desperate, Vale. I think so. I think it's desperate. Yep. I saw on the... Okay, I didn't see that Butler video. Now, I hinted that Iran... Oh, you should see the horrible stuff on, like, Alex Jones posted something, and then all these anti-Semitic, vile, repulsive things. They put Trump on there. This is what's so comical. Trump was called an anti-Semite, a Jew hater. That's what they call Trump. Now they write these horrible things saying he is a Jew and he's a Jew lover. I mean, which is it? Does Trump hate Jews or love Jews? It's neither. Just like they called him a racist. But before they called him a racist, all his friends were black. All the celebrities, Don King, all the musicians, all the sports players, hung out with all of them. Yep. Then he ran for office and suddenly he's a racist. It's just nonsense. Oh, gotcha, Odins. Yeah, not to pursue it. Well, we don't know they're not pursuing it. Maybe they are, but I'm saying I'm more interested in answers on that than this other stuff. That's just what I'm saying. Anyway, so, Jesse, I hope you're still here. I hope you didn't leave. I mean, I can't believe you're being childish. I don't think you are. That's why I think you're still here. But, yeah. Look, we're not going to agree on everything. Not going to agree on everything. If it were up to me, Sierra Vista would be an armed border town. I lived in Sierra Vista, and I saw the rubbish that came across that border. Yep. I would arm that border. Those aerostats, not even close enough to border. Crew serve weapons, lasers, drones, armed patrols, horseback, quad bikes. Yep. Never should have campaigned on the Epstein files. I didn't hear him campaign. I don't know what you guys campaign. You guys watch. I didn't hear him campaign on the Epstein files. That's not what I heard. That's not what I heard. They might have mentioned it, but that wasn't a campaign issue. Yep. And besides, again, back to the point, Odins, they released the Epstein files. I showed you guys the picture of Scott Pressler and all these MAGA right-wing guys holding up the binders on February 23rd. They got the Epstein files. They're all excited about it. And then they couldn't find anything. So then they start playing games. Yeah. Well, Glenn, they pulled the race card here too, buddy. Anyway. So this stupid shit about, hey, Janet, this stupid shit about Epstein costing me viewers? God, that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Trump only stated that he would look into anything credible. Exactly. And he said there's nothing credible. Irene Berger, welcome to you. Anyway. Look, if it's going to cost viewers, I'm not going to sit here and parrot nonsense that I have no evidence of. It just doesn't work that way. That's not how I'm wired. I'm not going to wire it. I mean, we can speculate about things, but I'm not going to just play silly games with stuff. Anyway, so the video I did earlier, the RSC, that's the Resettlement Support Center, is located in Kenya. It is a subsidiary of the Church World Services, which is based in Indiana. And Church World Services has this outreach program. It's located in Kenya, and they help process the refugees. They review in their cases. So anyway, yeah. So if you get a phone call and you're interested in the refugee program, you get a phone call and it comes from Kenya, 254, don't just hang up because it might be your time. Yeah. What would the world have looked like if... That's my thought, Emerencia. Imagine if they'd actually killed the person. So the history was changed. The fact that Trump survived it and became a born-again person, it's not the same Trump we had once upon a time. That was history in the making. Had he been murdered, it would have been history in a very bad way in the making. So, hey, Pro, what's going on? Yeah. So anyway, so this is what we're talking about. Now, this is the website that people were talking about, sending me all these messages earlier today, and it's called My Case. Okay, and that's the URL, mycase.rscafrica.org, U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. It's operated by the Church World Service as part of cooperative agreement with the U.S. Department of State, and it's real. Here, you'd punch in a case number. If you have to have a case number and then a password, and you can check your case status. All right, but that's all this website is for. You really can't do much else. Here's some resources here you can click on. They're letting you know the program is free. Okay. Here's the application process. Oh, there you go. It tells you how the application process works. DNA testing. Tells you the resettlement process is long. It may be years. Well, that isn't the case. See here, check this out, folks. This is what I love about this. So let's do this in English, okay? Wait, open that up, okay? So check this out. The resettlement process is long. It may take years. Be patient, okay? That's what they tell Kenyans and Somalis and Congolese. And I have South Africans who are generously being given a refugee program. And 3 weeks after they send in a statement of interest, they're sending me rude, disrespectful, insulting voice notes and WhatsApp messages saying, screw you and screw Trump. It's taking too long. Are you high? This is what I try to get across to people. This is unreal. It's unreal. It really is. Really is unreal. This is exactly what they tell people because this is the truth. The resettlement process is long. It may take years. Be patient. Not everyone who starts the resettlement process will be approved to travel to the U.S. Well, so far, to our knowledge, all South Africans have been approved who've applied, to our knowledge. Yeah. You know, so there's that. What else you got here? What you can do to help with your case, okay? Learning English will help you. Well, most of these people in South Africa know English. Polygamy, it's illegal for one man or woman to have more than one spouse in the U.S. So you can't do that. Anyway. So then they got this here. Let's do this in English. I'm going to download all these darn things before it's over. Okay, so this is what you can bring with you. Look at this. This is for people who don't speak English, who are like living in Somalia. CDs, clothes. You can't have henna on your fingertips. No weapons, no grains, no meat, no bush meat, no fruits, no vegetables, no cot. You have to tell them no cot. Cooking utensils, prayer mat. Okay, if you have any of the following items, place them in your 5-kilogram carry-on. Toothbrush, sanitary pads, breast milk, valuables, diapers, change clothes, money, deodorant. I have to tell the Africans to bring deodorant. That's messed up. Anyway, and then your luggage. Here they're telling me you get 20 kg, but certain flights allow 23 kg. Consult with the International Organization of Migration, which is not the case for the South African refugees. Anyway, this is very useful information. Well, I said no bushmeat. It doesn't say that. I said no bushmeat. Yeah, because I know how this crap works. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of handy. It's kind of handy. Cot warning. Cot. The United States has classified cot as a controlled substance. It's illegal to bring it to the United States. Yep. Don't bring it. They got 3 times they show it. The application process. Let's go with English with that one, okay? Why is it not doing it? It won't let me download that one. Oh, crap. It's not working now. It won't let me download these. For some reason, they're not there. Let me try it in another language. I'll do it in French. Nope, not there. No, not there. Thank you for checking out the Kenya Refugee Center and putting our minds at ease. You're welcome, Sojourner. Truly appreciate the U.S. is willing to help us like this. The U.S. doesn't have to help us, but they trace us. Yeah, but some people don't feel that way, Tony. Can we pack weed? No, it's not allowed. I did see the doctor, Irene. I talked about it earlier. You weren't here. No fish. What a travesty. Oh, my hat. I can't even think what things would look like today if the president was actually killed. Yeah, I know. Symmetra is going to delete the Ubuntu group she created. Okay. I'm not sure why you're doing that. Many of the guys who do service at my place are likely illegal. I wish that they could be enrolled instead of extradited. Nope. I wish they're all extradited. Send them all packing. Send them all packing. Every one of the 16 countries that I've lived in, I entered legally. I did not overstay my welcome. I obeyed the laws and mores and norms of that country, respected them, and left. When I lived in a predominantly Muslim country of Tunisia, and I was attending L'École d'État-Major, the staff college, Ramadan came around the same time as Christmas. It started in December, late November, December that year. And during Ramadan, I fasted. And about 3/4 away through Ramadan, before we went on Christmas break, we were having a break outside, and my colleagues were talking to me, and one of the guys came out and they said something about, me fasting. He said, Wyatt's not fasting. He's drinking Coca-Cola and eating M&Ms every day. And they should have seen them all jump to my defense. You know what you're talking about. Wyatt's fasting. He's fasting. And so the guy says, yeah, but when you go home, you eat. I said, no, not till the sun goes down. What? Why? I said, because all my classmates are Muslims. It's not a huge sacrifice for me. I could do this. It's not a problem. So I did it. I fasted. It wasn't the easiest thing, but I did it just out of respect. Not because I'm a Muslim, but just out of respect. I didn't have to do it. Just did it as a courtesy. And my intent wasn't to earn goodwill, but I earned a lot of goodwill with my colleagues in that course. A lot of goodwill. They really respected that. So when we played soccer, nobody tried to take me out. And guys come over and shield when people would come rushing in. They make sure I didn't get hit. It was awesome. They were pretty cool. Yeah, but so I've obeyed the laws of every country, and I only entered legally and left in the prescribed time. So I don't cotton to people stealing my sovereignty, invading my country. I don't care if they're fixing my air conditioning or pruning my bushes. They need to get the hell out and come in legally. It's not fair to the people who come here legally. Huge drama in UK where girl assaulted. Problem was, I'm not sure what you're saying there, in Epping. Okay. I wonder if the people complaining about this program realize how ungrateful we sound. Yeah, I don't think they care. I think some of them aren't real. I think some of these people are just plants just to cause chaos. If they come in the chat and they complain, that's usually what they are. But I get messages. I never gave my email out. I never gave my phone number. I'm talking about my personal email. I never gave any of that stuff out. Yet I get messages and phone numbers and phone calls and WhatsApps from people whom I don't even know who they are, and they just want to complain about stuff. Yep. Don't worry, there's plenty of weed. Yeah, Greg, there is. There's too much weed over here. Yeah, but khat's different. You chew khat, but it has the same effect. They're basically narcotized. Have to watch from the beginning as I missed what you had. Well, Nicola, I'll do it real quick because there's a lot of people came in later. We're at 300 now. Wow, we're 300 tonight. So I went to the doctor. I waited 7 weeks for this appointment. He's a good doctor, and he's the only one who's ever listened to me about my hip. He's the one that gave me the cortisone injection and the Burstasac last year, and it helped for about 4 months in November, 4.5 months. So he has an idea what it might be. And so he said, what's your preference? Because I told him that the physiotherapist had told me that they want to do an artificial hip if it was the torn labrum, which is something different than I thought it was. I thought it was a muscle, but apparently it's cartilage. But this doesn't feel like cartilage torn. So anyway, he sent me over for x-rays. I had the x-rays done. The x-rays are digitally sent to Walter Reed, the headquarters, the main medical center down in D.C., and the technician looks at them. They've already analyzed them. So the x-ray technician can already tell them what they've seen, if they've seen anything. But I won't have an appointment for follow-up with my primary care provider until a telephonic conversation on the 8th of August. Are you serious? I can barely walk, and I have to wait the 8th. I waited 7 weeks for this. That's the 8th of August. That means I will have waited all of June, all of July, and a week of August before I even know what an x-ray looks like. If I'd had a few more days in South Africa, I could have gotten that sitting right there in the damn clinic talking to somebody. And as generous as people have been to me in South Africa when it comes to medical care, I probably could have got it for free. Yeah. So the x-ray, and then he scheduled me for an MRI, but it has to be approved by the insurer. And if they don't approve it, then I'll get the MRI. And I said, fine, I'll go to the VA because I get free care from there. Let's just go get them to do it. Anyway, so I have to wait for the insurer to approve the MRI. That should be by Tuesday. And then I have to schedule it. And the stupid thing is, he says, if it's the x-ray shows us there's something there, then we won't need the MRI. But if you don't talk to me until August 8th, I'm going to go get the MRI. It's going to cost thousands of dollars when you could have stopped it. So the whole system is stupid. His panel was already full when I became one of his patients, because my doctor was never there. He was a reservist and kept getting activated, and then he left, went somewhere else. And so I picked him up as my doc a couple years ago, and he's the best physician I've ever had. I've never had someone I saw more than twice. That alone makes him the best physician in my entire lifetime. But he's a really good guy. So he asked me after we did all this and he did some range of motion stuff. He said, "Well, I really can't move your leg very much here." The other one's like this, in and out, up and down. And that right leg only barely move out. He goes, "There's resistance here." I said, "Yeah, I know. That's why I can't walk properly." Explained to him the chiropractor and the physiotherapist and the medical massage therapist. Explained all that. So he said, "Okay, so what do you want to do? Because we're going to get your referral. We'll see what the X-rays and the MRI, but we'll get your referral in the meantime because it takes time." He said, "If I send you to an orthopedic, they like to recommend surgery, and or I can send you to sports medicine, and they can't do surgery, so they look for other means. And oftentimes it can be solved. These things can be solved without surgery." I said, "Well, doc, if you're looking for a nail, you're going to find a hammer, right? And so orthopedic surgeons, guess what? Orthopedic surgeons like surgery." And he looked at me and smiled, and I said, "Yeah." So I said, "You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's try the sports medicine first." So there you go. Yep. October 7th, Gordon. Geez. In this country, the president finds of the utmost importance to investigate normal, unattached people. Search the Zonda report. Yeah, I agree. My wife and I pay a lot of money to be able to be in the U.S. It's not a good feeling to see the left protect the illegals and give them free money. Well, the free money isn't free money, 787. It comes out of our pockets, and it's a fortune. We're spending a fortune. Jeepers, the bugger off money, huh? Torn rotator on my shoulder, had about 5% movement, was told surgery was the only option, but the cost, 1 year later, it's totally healed. Alan, I'm not laughing at your misfortune. I'm laughing at your good luck. Good luck that you couldn't afford it and your body just healed. Yeah, well, the problem, Ingrid, is that I can't exercise. So, like, for instance, my blood pressure was higher than it normally. Of course, I've been drinking caffeine. So, I mean, whenever I have caffeine right before, I know that it's going to be higher. But for me, normal is like 122 over 68 or something like that. But it was about 130, 134 over 80, which is high for me, systolic and diastolic. My heart rate was 47. That's almost dead. 47 beats a minute. You guys come out here like, "Don't get worked up, Chris. Don't get excited. You're going to have a heart attack." Man, they did my pulse 47 beats per minute. I mean, that's barely alive. I mean, that's like thump, 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 thump. 47 beats per minute, man. Yeah. I am too chill. There's always people think, "Oh man, he's all excited. He's going to have a heart attack. You're going to burst an aneurysm." Well, that could always happen to anybody. You don't know where the weak blood vessels are, but man, come on. Like, I always tell you guys, man, it's okay. I'm cool. I can go from 0 to 100 and back to 0 just like that. Yeah, how am I even alive, Ingrid? That's right. 47. Well, Katie, I can make it go a lot faster, That's what I was going to buy one of those things and put it on. I should do that and do my blood pressure here and show it on the air every night. They're only like $29. How do you do that? Well, it's very simple, Irene. Very simple. When I sit there, I don't get excited. I don't get nervous about what the doc's going to say no matter what's going on. So I just sit there, relax, and breathe slowly. And just relax. And I have a very healthy heart. And yep. It's pity Dr. Rathbury, he specialized in sports medicine, looked after rugby players, often hosted. Okay, shame, Karen. Okay. High blood in my caffeine count. Sports medicine will be good to hear what steps they want to take. Yeah, yep. So sorry you're going through so much pain, Chris. Horrible. Yeah, it sucks, but thank you. Yep. Appointment to see a specialist. That's a long time as well, October, man. So, yeah, this is crazy, so I have to live with a degraded quality of life. Can't do many things that, I could, but it would just be exhausting, painful, and take a long time to do things. So I'm not exercising, and that's one reason why my blood pressure is a little bit higher than normal. I'm not working out things they should be working out. Yeah, but the heart rate, man, that's chill. The heart rate is chill. I'm going to reload this page and see if I can't get this stupid thing to load now. I did want to load before. Application process. Okay, it load? Okay, I got it loaded. The page is messed up, but I got one of the other ones to work. So here we go. So here's the application process. Okay, so And AOR, well, you guys aren't doing AOR, you're doing SOI, Statement of Interest. And it's vetted by the RPC, and then the vetting at the RSC Africa, then a pre-screening interview, then a DNA request, DNA kits, DNA, and then final review by USCIS, and then the applicant scheduled for the interview. That's the process. So anyway, yeah, these are helpful things. So that's why that website's kind of good for that. So they used to call our coffee the brown drink with the water flavor. Mine have 45% working muscle after my heart attack. I'm sorry to hear that, Ingrid. That sucks. Professor Tim Noakes to chat about health and wokeness. I don't know who Professor Tim Noakes is, Raina. Can you send me his contact? Fasted 72 hours. With that heart rhythm, one can do a waltz. Yeah. Used to do open water swimming, but that's normally it's like 58. 47 was really low. But I mean, I normally can get that thing down to 58. So I have a hummingbird metabolism. I did, and an elephant heart rate. 64 miles needed exercise. We do, Truth Channel. That's right. 64 Chevy, man. Impala. Okay. It's in athletic mode. It never rests. Ouch. That's my hip. I had to adjust there. Anyway, so you're so chill. Yeah. No, I'm here. I'm here. Anyway, so that's that website. So that's interesting. And this is what their main site is. That's the Church World Services. And they've been helping people for 75 years, folks. 75 years. They relocated a whole bunch of people long before the Immigration Act of 1980. Yep. So that's who they are. And they go up here, and where's our work? Africa. RSC Africa, and then they got South Africa, Tanzania, and Kenya. Those are the three locations. Now, the place in South Africa doesn't do South Africans. That's for people who are refugees that came from other countries to South Africa to relocate. The guys that are working from Kenya are helping the South Africans. So does that make sense? From their headquarters. Anyway, your blood pressure will also be a bit higher when injured or in pain. Mine rose if I had migraines. Well, that makes sense. Ooh, that's terrible, Karen. Is Arctic here? Hey, Arctic, what's going on, man? Where you been? Good morning, refugees and moaners. You can check it again over 5 years. Wow, Adriana, that's pretty good. He'll wait 5 years. That's cool. Madeline says hello. Richard Reeves. Unfortunately, no contact for him. He's taken to court in South African won. UC kicked him out. He was on business about 3 weeks ago. Oh, okay. Okay, Noakes is his name. If he was on business, I can get a hold of him because I do stuff with business. So is it Tim Noakes? Is that the guy's name? We need a moaner song. No, drinking doesn't take it down. So Arctic says his blood pressure is high because of me. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's Arctic's blood pressure is high because he's pickled. Natasha Posthumous, how are you? I wouldn't mind a nice house in Karen, Nairobi, driving out in the wilds every weekend. That'd be cool. My boyfriend had to have a hip replacement at 55. Was crazy, but no other way. Bone on bone. Oof. Yeah, it was probably playing rugby or something like that, did it? Yep. Yeah, but I don't get a bone-on-bone grinding thing. That's not the thing. I mean, I could lead to that. That's not what I'm getting. I'm getting like there's no muscle. It just jerks away. It's high because Chris reads half sentences. That's not a half sentence. You write a half sentence. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so Trump underwent vascular tests for swelling in his legs. He's diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency. I think that means he doesn't get enough blood to his legs. That's not good. Donald Trump underwent testing after he noted mild swelling in his lower legs, but doctors determined he had a chronic venous insufficiency, a common condition for individuals over the age of 70. Reading a note from Trump's physician, Levitt was addressing speculation, particularly in social media, of the president's appearance in recent weeks. Others have noted bruising on the back of his hands, something that Levitt said was consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. This is well-known and benign sign of aspirin for therapy, side effect. According to the Cleveland Clinic, chronic venous insufficiency condition when the leg veins are damaged and it's more difficult for blood to move to a person's heart. It's generally pretty common and can be treated via compression therapy, leg elevation, exercise, and weight management. Huh. Trump, 79, was the oldest person elected to the presidency when he won a second term in November. Oof. African Swagger says passports are done. Also have a heart rate of 52. There you go, man. That's a good heart rate. Y'all get the Colonel's blood pressure up when you ask him the same questions. I think you need coffee. I'm going to have a strong cup. It's cold here. You're tall. Your hip takes a lot of weight. Maybe swimming will be good. Trust the sport option. Will swear. Yeah, no, Adriana, I hate swimming, but I'll tell you what. If swimming restores my leg to normalcy, then I'll go to swimming. I'll go to swimming. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Happy Slappy, what's up? Thank you for your respect. I appreciate it. Likewise. Yeah, if you say Algoa instead of Agoa. It's not Algoa, it's Agoa. Bone bilateral total hip replacement and spinal fusion was my life at 40. Good God. Devald, good morning to you. He doesn't fly like the rest of us. Who doesn't fly? No, if you can do it another way, try that. He was also very disappointed and believes in sports physiology too. It wasn't the same after op. Yeah, no, Sumari. I'm definitely not going to go to an orthopedic surgeon and get the diagnosis of surgery. I'm very healthy and fit before this. So I'm very conscious. I showed you the Hungry Hippos earlier. We saw that video. I'm very conscious of not being svelte. I've always been thin as a rail, and I'm not thin as a rail right now because I can't exercise, and I didn't adjust my food intake in time to realize it. So I'm very conscious of that. So, but I mean, I'm also, of an age where I suppose, people are bigger, but why does it sound that medical is bad news? It's not, James. I'm getting my care through an Army clinic that's understaffed, under-resourced, under-financed, under-equipped. We have about 800 to 1,000 military personnel at the installation. And then we have a retired community, which is thousands of people, many of whom get their care there. That's where I get my care at. I'm eligible for the Veterans Administration because I'm disabled. I have a disability rating, so I could get free care from the Veterans Administration, but I haven't done that because the hospital there, the clinic there is 45 minutes away. The Army one is 20 minutes away. And I had reasons to go to the Army clinic, so I will probably change that at some point or relocate to Wyoming and figure something out. But anyway, so it's not that. It's just that they don't have the resources. I mean, like I said, so I had an X-ray, 3 actually. Took 3 X-rays, had me adjust my leg different ways. Those X-rays were looked at, the technician saw them, sent them digitally to Walter Reed, and within an hour, the technician had already evaluated them. They're already back before I even left the clinic. But the doctor isn't seeing them now because he has to move on to his next 10-minute appointment. It's stupid the way this is what social medicine is bad for. But this is because I'm using Army medical care. If I had the resources and we went to a private clinic, I probably would have seen a doc today, had the X-ray. They could have determined what it was. It's not something you see an X-ray. MRI before the week, before middle next week. Come back by the end of next week or sooner. Have the MRI evaluated and then have a plan of action. But that's not it. I went through the same with my right hip. They found I had bone calcification. Okay. Freya, interesting. Billy, who's here? Primal Boar. Yeah, Geese. I never took exercise for granted. Just did it. Medical care in South Africa is expensive. It's also expensive in the USA. Medical care is good, but you pay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Peter. But I mean, you say expensive, but it's a relative term from my perspective. It's not expensive to me. It's a lot cheaper there to get it, and you get good quality. Left hip replaced at 50 after plenty of therapy. My MRI eventually showed the problems. Bone on bone. X-ray does not show up the issues. Get MRI. Yeah, I know, DK. But the issue he thinks it could be. You start with an X-ray. Okay, I know you start with an X-ray. So we'll start there and then the MRI. But I have to have approval. We don't need approval. They have an X-ray technician at the clinic, but they don't have an MRI. MRIs cost millions of dollars. Well, weight loss in gym definitely helps it with everything. It helps with your blood flow. It helps with your blood pressure. It helps with your cholesterol. It helps with your healthiness in your heart. And also it prevents things like deep vein thrombosis, getting exercise, getting all that stuff in play. It's the lethargy and the sedentary stuff that causes problems. And because I can't do anything with this leg, I'm sedentary, and I don't like being sedentary. Varoshka's out. Take care. Sounds like it's time for a side chick so we can both get more running from the wife. I have a recce friend who has 38 surgeries. Many of us are fortunate enough to have all our... Well, I'm with you on that. One of the guys involved in the conflict in Angola has got a hole in his back. It was shot, the bullet ripped out the back, and he's got a hole in. He wound up marrying a nurse, and she has to clean and dress his wound every day for the past 40 years. That's horrible. It's horrible. You think swimming will be a good idea? I think it probably is a good idea. Natural way lion's mane mushroom in your tea or coffee helps with nerve regeneration. I have no idea what a lion's mane is. It sounds mushroom. Oh, mushroom. Yeah. South Africa used to have the best hip knee docs in the world. A lot of British doctors were sent to South Africa to get knee ops. British soldiers. Okay. Yeah, no, block up. I know swimming is great exercise. I hate it. I hate the water. But I've always said, and if people want to tell me, so look, I get a lot of people that turn to me because as a leader, you get this all the time. What should I do to lose weight for exercise? So first off, if your approach to exercise is because you want to lose weight, you're taking the wrong approach. Let me explain why. Exercise shouldn't be about losing weight. That should be a byproduct of it, and you shouldn't be focused on it because you're going to overdo it. You're going to burn yourself out. What I always tell people who are sedentary is that when you start exercising, go slow. Start out walking 15 minutes. What? That's all? Yeah, 15 minutes. Do it. Take a day off. Do it again 15 minutes. Take a day off. Do it for 30 minutes. Build up slowly. Otherwise, you're going to develop lactic acid and stiff muscles. And then you're going to give it up. So you don't do exercise to lose weight. It will lose weight if you burn more calories than you're taking in. But you do it for a healthy cardiovascular system, a good heart rate, a healthy heart. That's your most important muscle in your body is your heart. That's why you do it. It also helps with cholesterol. So it's good for your body. That's why you should do exercise. You sleep better. You're more alert. You can think clearer, and you have a better quality of life if you're fit. That's why you do it. You will lose weight as well, but that shouldn't be your primary objective. If you want to lose weight, you have to address your diet. You shouldn't be drinking these, Chris. 230 calories right there. Caffeine, sugar, not a good thing to drink. Okay? You address diet. You take in less than you eat or less than your body burns and you lose weight. It's as simple as that. The body burns its fat reserves. It's a simple equation. Doing it is not simple, but the equation is quite simple. Does that make sense? Okay. So, that's what you do. That's what I always tell people. So, yeah. But I'm not going to tell you what kind of diets to eat. Just be smart about what you eat. So, I'm allergic to exercise. I feel great until I exercise, and I feel like dying, so I'm allergic to it. Medicare? No, Dr. Flan. I'm not that old. Gee, thanks, Dr. Flan. Or is it Flan or Fion? Fion. I'm not that old, man. Good God. Medicare is for people who are 65 and older. I'm not even close to 65. Ouch! You slay me, Doc. Medicare. I hope that comes from ignorance and not knowing when Medicare starts. Medicare? No. I don't want to go on Medicare. I don't want socialized freaking back of the bus medicine. Yeah, water's good too, but don't overdo it. You can have too much water. Here's an off-the-wall question. What is your take on Area 51? It's real. Area 51 does exist. It's in Nevada. It's a military base. The Air Force has it. Skunk Works. We do highly classified aircraft and other thing testing out there. But is it full of aliens? Not to my knowledge. Dr. Romance, swimming even for asthma helps lungs and build better muscle. Mossad. Where did that come from, Charlie? Where did Mossad come from? Rain lived in the Netherlands for a while, and I have to say healthcare in South is far more accessible than there. I can see a doctor on any day in South. Yeah, no. Look, I mean, yeah, that's been my experience too. I mean, I can get care in South Africa pretty quickly, and for me as an American paying in dollars at a reasonable cost, whereas I just can't get it in other places. Let me. I've told a story about my nose. You guys want to hear the story about my nose? It's so secret you can see the 4 737s that fly there every day from Vegas. President Trump ordered Pam Bondi to release. Yes, he did. And so I lost a viewer earlier because I was talking about that because someone brought it up. Bad sleeping. Yeah, okay. Food and mouth disease. Yeah, that is curable, but not for the ANC. They can't stop foot and mouth disease. Oh, you said food and mouth. I thought you said foot and mouth. Lindy Power wants to hear the story. Okay. All right. So I've told this story before, so some of you might have heard it. Some guys tried to drive to Area 51, got jumped by armed guards like 10 miles before they got close. I'm not surprised. Why is everything let go bad for you? Not everything. You just do things in moderation. This is not bad for you, but you shouldn't drink 3 or 4 of these a day. Okay, so the nose. So I was at Fort Meade working at the National Security Agency then, and still living at Fort Meade, and then working at the Defense Intelligence Agency at the Pentagon. I don't know, Christian, if and when they're walking away from the GNU, but the GNU, the government's imploding. August 1st is going to be ugly. It's already ugly now. So I started getting nosebleeds. My nose it wasn't just a bleed. It just like gushed out of my nostril. My left nostril poured out of my nostril. Like just, whoa. I could be sitting around doing nothing, just started bleeding. Like, what the hell? Catching the blood. And I went to the clinic. So I went to the clinic at Fort Meade because I was stationed there at the National Security Agency. I waited for sick call in uniform, waited and waited. I went and saw a general practitioner. And the first one, she said, oh, okay, well, it's just dry in there. So what we do is recommend a salve. You put it in there, and that'll make it all better. So I went out, drew my ticket for the pharmacy, and it services thousands of people. And even though I was on active duty in uniform, I still had to wait 45 minutes before they got to me or something like that. They called me up, and then they said, we don't have this. We don't stock this. I said, okay, well, give me something else. I can't. You got to go back and see the doctor and get another one. We tell them all the time, like, I said, no, not. I've already been here too long. I've got work to do, so I left. A few months later, or maybe a year later, it was still happening. I had to go in again. I went in again, saw another doctor, gave me the same thing, put a salve in there. Went into the pharmacy, and they said, no, we don't stock this. I said, that's what they told me last year. I said, well, we don't stock this. You have to go back and get it. So I left. So I got assigned overseas. I went to Liberia. In Liberia, I was there I got there in May, I think it was, and this must have been in August, I think it was, and I was talking to the Deputy Minister of Defense for Operations, who has since passed away. He was a young guy. He died young. And also Jeff Rodriguez, who was the program manager for DynCorp. And those two were fighting, arguing. They didn't like Jeff, and Jeff didn't like them with good reason because they were dumbasses. Anyway, so I jumped in this and I said, okay, enough. Knock it off. This isn't going anywhere. If you two can't work this out, then I'm going to work it out. And then all of a sudden, blood came pouring out of my nose. It's like running right out of my nose. You know, it's like 95 degrees Fahrenheit, so like 38 degrees Celsius, and it's like 95% humidity, just dripping sweat. I'm wearing my Army camouflage uniform, and blood just starts gushing out of my nose. And the deputy minister, like, he's black as black can be, and he turned white. He's like, they thought I was going to die or something like that. And I had just blood all that. Now imagine if I'd had my beard. Just picture, I didn't have a beard. I was clean shaven, of course. But imagine all of this would have been covered in blood. Anyway, I was like, that's it. I happened to go on temporary duty for a conference to Germany after this. And I got there on a Monday. I was only there for 5 days. And I went to the clinic. I slipped out during a break. And I said, look, and they got me in. I said, I need to have someone look at this. They said, well, you need to see an ear, nose, and throat specialist. We'll schedule for an interview. Before they did that, like, okay, how are you paying for this? I'm like, how are you paying for it? I'm in uniform. I'm in the Army. You're an Army clinic. So, yeah, but it has to be billed to someone. Like, okay. So they looked and they found out that the attaché who was responsible for it had never processed my transition from America to Africa, which is under a different provider, SOS International, instead of TRICARE. So they couldn't see me. I'm on active duty. They wouldn't see me. They wouldn't treat me. Well, they did treat me, but they enrolled me right there, and they got it all enrolled and taken care of. Anyway, so then she came back and said, okay, we've got you an appointment at Ramstein on Friday. I said, ma'am, I can't go to Ramstein. What do you mean? I'm not stationed here. I told you that when I started this. I am stationed in Liberia. I'm only here until Friday. I leave Friday night. I can't go to Ramstein. That's a 3-hour drive each way. And then I'm going to miss my flight. Oh. So there's a good news to this story. So I'm going to tell you the rest of this. Okay, so here's what happened. So bless their hearts. They jumped through hoops. They made it happen. They got the authorization. They sent me to a German ear, nose, and throat specialist approximately 1.2 kilometers from the gate. in Vaihingen, Germany. You drive out the gate of the UCOM headquarters, you drive down the street, straight shot. It's right down there by the shopping places. I used to go to an Indian restaurant down there underneath all the time. Anyway, so I went and I parked. Parking wasn't easy. You have to pay for parking. I finally found a spot and park on the street. And then I went up to the office. I came in, and they must have told them that I spoke German because, I mean, I've been asked that. They asked if I spoke German. I said, yeah, I speak German fluently. So I came in, and they greeted me, Herr Wyatt, ja, wir verstehen, dass Sie können Deutsch sprechen. Möchten Sie Deutsch oder English sprechen? I said, well, you know, I will speak German for everything except particle physics and my health. So anyway, I says, okay. So I sat down. I think I got there like 9:20 or 9:25, something like that. I sat down because I'm always early. The report was at 9:30. And then it was on the Friday before I flew. And promptly at 9:30, like clockwork, out comes the German doctor. The doctor comes over. He greets me in German. And he says, Herr Wyatt, yes, I understand you speak German. So he speaks German or English? I said, let's speak English, doc. So I went in, sat down, and I sat in a chair. He got his little, you know, thing with the light and the mic, the magnifying, looks up one nostril, looks up the nostril, goes, aha, see the problem. I said, what is it? You've got a polyp. And I remember that George Bush Sr. had a polyp, and it was like, oh, worried whether it was cancerous or not. I'm like, oh, okay, a polyp. He goes, no, it's benign. Don't worry about that. So he said, I can take care of that. It just takes a moment. So he got his laser out, zap, zap. That's it. I got up. I walked out of the ear, nose, and throat specialist. I was there for 13 minutes, and my nose has never bled again. Never bled again. Can you imagine that? For 6 or 7 years, I had a nosebleed that just would bleed anytime I wanted to. It was insane because of piss poor army healthcare. Because they treat it like they're making sausage and they grind you out. I didn't have a physician who cared about me, who knew me. I have a physician that actually cares now. He tries. He's a great guy. But they didn't care. So multiple docs, never seen the same doc, never taken care of me. Not even aware what their own pharmacy stocks. They sent me to an ear, nose, and throat specialist, a German, and it was done. Didn't cost me a penny. And in 13 minutes, it was done, and I've never bled again. That is healthcare. But you have to have the money for it. Shortage of vitamins and minerals cause a lot of issues we can try to cure with pills. Well, funny you should mention that. Funny you should mention that. Not a big vitamin person, but ever since the injury, I've started doing vitamins. Yeah, so that's, oh gosh, that's tiny. Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, thiamine, vitamin K, manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, potassium, all kinds of stuff in here. One a day. And then this for joints, glucosamine chondroitin. So I used to take chondroitin sulfate a long time ago. It also has turmeric. I don't care about turmeric though. Anyway, not a big fan of supplements, but you know, I'm probably missing some of that in my diet, especially my crappy hours. So what was the Mossad thing? I never did get that. See President Trump order Pambani. Yep, okay. I think some folks in America is always trying to propagate. Yeah, they are. Richard Reeves is looking at the stars. Sighted late this morning, went to the start of the stream. That song brought tears to my eyes. We just confirmation of our passports. Okay, Christina, how's it going there? My son-in-law had his veins in his nose cauterized for the same thing. Dry, cold air. Like how thing. I have a feeling from August the crap is going to hit the fan. Yeah, it's already hitting the fan, Primal Boris. The crap is already hitting the fan. Yep. Vander runs every day. You run out of patience and money. Why will I wait so long for a practicing license U.S. for general practitioner? Because every state's got its own licenses requirement to be a physician, doc. And you, what is so long? You didn't. You know, that's a useless comment to me. Wait so long. What is long? I mean, I got people who are sending me nastygram messages. Oh, I've been waiting forever. 3 weeks since they submitted a statement of interest. and they think that's a long time. What is so long, Doc? I mean, I'm asking, and I assume you're a GP. That's why you're asking. I don't know. I mean, and have you looked at different states? Different states have different certification requirements. Drink water 2 liters a day. Don't use sugar and gym 3 times a week. Brisk walks. Eat whole foods and change my health life tremendously. Oh, and lots of beer, JJ. Okay. Well, tonight, folks, the Scotland is playing. But I was going to do it, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm kind of tired. I'll probably put it on the TV and watch it if I'm awake. It's at 3:30 my time. If it had been 2 o'clock, I probably would have done it. But 3:30, it's 2 hours from now, or 3 hours from now. I'm not going to wait up another 3 hours to Scotland and Samoa. Manu Samoa, they're out in Samoa. And Scotland, they didn't look so good last time, so they're going to have to work for this. My nosebleed started again after a second burning a vein, and a friend told me to get Nizoheme. They used 2 tubes and bleeding stopped 2 weeks later, still okay. Okay, Julie. The World Bank, that money was borrowed a few weeks ago. I don't know what maybe it's being dispersed now. That's not new, unless it's another loan that we haven't heard about. Okay, wow, so for years, no one see that. So glad. Yeah, Lindy, in 13 minutes, that's healthcare. Nosebleeds are painted by. I had them constantly growing up. Family visit, Joe, my cousin. The dentist just shows him the syringe and he faints. No more nosebleeds. Daily present serum posed to celebrate narrowing the gap in household income between race groups. So let me translate that what it means. South Africa's whites are poor, and so they're closer in poverty to blacks now. Daily investor, huh? Let's see that. It's not loading. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Oh, well, actually, the headline is Cyril Ramaphosa celebrates as white and Indian household incomes decline. Ramaphosa celebrating narrowing the gap in household income between race groups resulted partly from a decline in white and Indian household. Last month, he told delegates of Black Business Council that it's good for Southern economy. According to statistics, between 2006 and 23, Black African households experienced real income growth 46%. He added that colored households experienced income growth 29%. The average income of white households is still only 5 times as high as blacks, but he didn't point out the obvious. Yep. So for the same period, real household income for Black African families increased 14%. So, all right. So, the table shows a real household income rate per race group. Blacks grew 14%, coloreds grew 7%, Indians lost 8%, and whites lost 2.2%. He celebrates that. Yeah, he celebrates people being pushed into poverty. Vitamins are important, part of a daily routine. Okay, you're lucky my mom had a thing in her nose. She also found out after a lot of nosebleeds that developed into. Oh my gosh, Sandra. Well, mine was benign. There was no cancer. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sandra. That's terrible. Take care, Verna. Oh, that is good supplement you have there. Some of them do not have everything you need, but that one sounds good. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. It's got it all. And there was more in there. I didn't read all of them. I mean, there's a whole list of stuff on the back of the thing. So, I mean, these are all, if you can read that, that's all the different things on two columns here. One column here and one column there, all the different things that are in there. Just tons of stuff. So they're not that big. I mean, like that big every day. So a little horse pill there. Anyway, so got those dirt cheap. The Rite Aid went out of business, and so it was 60% off. Vitamins are a lot more expensive than they used to be. Yep. Something jumped on me here. My doctor is a Muslim friend who is now in hospital. He never charged me. He says he is forever grateful the Irish people gave up a seat in Dublin University. Oh, that's Peter. That's incredible. Very kind of him. Had a right nostril bleed profusely for 3 years. Was still at school. Time and again, my books got soaked in blood. Dad took me to have it cauterized. Never had nosebleed again. Yep. Turmeric is good. All those MSM, chondroitin too. I give them to my old dog to make such a difference. Okay, thank you, Simran. Arf, arf. Okay. Scotland lost last week against Fiji. No, it was Fiji. It wasn't Japan. wish I could function with so little sleep. It's a real problem. Even if Trump knew Epstein, so what? Trump also knew a lot of people. Exactly. Emmer Kenny, you're way behind, but yes, exactly. I saw something disturbing yesterday. Could be fake EFF stole food from white. No, that's not fake. No, that's on a YouTube documentary that came out. This is a channel with like 7.6 million. I saw that as well. I've seen that before. That lady goes around and helps people. She fed whites in a squatter camp, and the EFF came and stole the food. And they're standing there talking in front of the camp. They weren't shy. They like steal it. They don't care. Oh, we're all one. We're all one blood. Yeah, you're not one blood. You didn't offer them any food when you got it. You just came and stole their food. Scumbags. Yeah. Teaspoon cream of tartar. Ugh. Had to something. It was going downhill quick. I gave up. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've always ended up with my most beautiful doctors and dentists. My dentist pulled a wisdom tooth out, and I forgot all about the pain as I stared into her blue eyes. Yeah, I call bullshit. I call bullshit, Virtual Western Cape. I had my wisdom teeth removed on the right side of my mouth, and I remember that pain, even though it happened in 1987. No, I'm not buying that story. Nobody's that hot. Oh, it's not shocking, Karen. It's not shocking. It's just what happens every day. And they get away with it. Yep. House has to pay $78 billion a year for malpractice. It could be right. Could be. That could be their insurance premiums and their payouts. I watched the European interview regarding those poor white CFF cadres were very brazen. Yeah. Well, they are thieves, and it's it's unbelievable. I got somebody send me a voice note earlier. I appreciate a voice note. The gentleman was shocked that I responded because he sent me an email. He said he never wrote to anyone on social media, and so he sent it to me, and I responded to him. Then he sent me a voice note. It's like 9 minutes. I don't have time to listen to people's 9-minute voicemails. We're not pals. I'm nothing against the guy, but he's telling me his life story and his family going back to Simon Fundestel, which is fascinating, but that's something over a beer at the Kopstadt Brauhaus, not when I'm trying to work here in the States. So anyway, he told me that they're building their own house and that they've already had 3 visits from black thugs saying that hurry up and finish the house so we can move into it. You're not going to live here. Wow. I know what you mean, Karen. Good morning, Pig Daddy RSA. You know how I know there isn't a golf course and resort on the island? You've flown over it or you've been to it. I don't know. Yeah, Madeline, I only had 2 taken out. And when they first took the first 2 out, I'm like, you ain't taking the others out. I still have the wisdom teeth on my left side. You're not getting those bad boys. You are not getting those teeth. Not after that pain. Oh my gosh, that was so painful. So painful. You know of Gary Brecka? Never heard of him. Never heard of him. I don't know what Brecka Bites are. Is that some program? Yeah, so this is interesting. So I'm glad you mentioned the Daily Investor story because I'm going to make a video about this. Yep. Yep. Another way to examine South Africa's household income and assess our performance over the last decade is consider the real household income in U.S. dollars. In real U.S. dollar terms, South African households are much poorer today than they were even in 2011. In 2011, the real average household income in South Africa was $29,000. In 2023, it was only $11,000. That's a 62% decrease in dollar terms since 2011. Wow. And somebody wrote here, I don't think there's a country that has declined at this pace, but these statistics are relevant because the majority of black populations on social grants and deeply in debt with huge unemployment for the youth. I don't know about that. I haven't had a bad habit in 30 minutes. My friends mock me, but listen, I do what I do with... Huh? Watch this stuff. Oh, about vitamins and minerals. Okay. Virtual Western Cape. I've never seen a super hot dentist. I'm sorry. Either a dude or a gal. Never seen a super hot dentist. Madeline, 30 years later, still traumatized. I hear you, Madeline. Well, the deal was, so the Army would, they were like super hot about, dental exams when I was enlisted. And I had to go to the dentist like every 6 months. You had to go to the dentist. You get a cleaning every 6 months. To their credit, thank you for that, Army. Probably one reason why I have teeth. And they would take x-rays every time you go in. So I got there in 84, got my first x-ray. 6 months later, early 85, then later 85, then 86. And 86, like, oh, your wisdom teeth are coming in. So in 86, I would have been 22, 21, 22, 23, something like that. Wisdom teeth were coming in. And first x-ray in 86, they were coming in. They wanted to take them out. I said, no, leave them there. Next x-ray, they came in further, 6 months later. And then the next x-ray, they still hadn't come in fully, but they were coming up, but then they started to turn like this. And turn like that would have knocked all my teeth out of alignment and would have been painful. So just before I got out of the Army in early 87, I said, okay, take them out. Oh my gosh. Oh, I could feel a cockroach move on the floor and it hurt. I can't see the dentist, only the instruments. Pilots to go on strike. Yes, I know, Arctic. We talked about that. Where were you, man? Gordon von Rensburg says Amerikaners with a prayer. What's with the prayer? Are the Amerikaners here? Is Sambusa in the chat? Why are you putting prayers for... I don't see them. So what's that mean? I'm missing something here. Yeah, you could do much more with your 86 hours than you can do now. You don't even medical it. I got you. Sapphire sucks. Not for passengers. Oh, they just posted on X. Thank you for that. Okay, what did they post? Let's go see what they posted. They're up early, unless they got their stateside folks doing it. Oh, they're saying they've been contacted by dozens of companies who would like to offer jobs. Well, I've been contacted by multiple companies, and I haven't expressed a great interest in it. I'm a one-man operation. I don't have a team like these guys have put together. So, I mean, I have lots of people contact me trying to get South African refugees to be hired. But the problem is that we cannot interfere with the process. The moment you interfere with the process, you're going to be in trouble with the State Department. So all we can do is, once people know they're coming, turn them on to places available to them. But some of these places want the names of people, and we can't provide that. Even if we know it, we can't provide it. It's not legal to do that. So I'm not sure what the Amerikaners are doing. They have a good intent here, I'm sure, but they need to be very careful on how they go about it. You need to be very careful on how they go about it. Arctic, I don't have a team that's working on this. Come on. I have a team of moderators. Don't start acting like I'm dissing my moderators. Sat in a chair at a government hospital. Dentist to remove, picked up at periodontitis. Oh, I don't know I don't know what that is. Dentists don't care what you like. They just do a good pain-free job. Dread the teeth cleaning worse than a dental procedure. Sumari, no, I don't mind the cleanings at all. I actually enjoy the cleanings, and I don't mind the dental work either. So yeah. Oh, sorry, Arctic. I thought you were talking about me. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I mean, how are they doing this? They say they had several people, although some people walked away from it, and others must have come in. Huge difference simply knowing Epstein and liking him, Trump on record for not liking him, people even beating the hell out of the he knew Epstein thing. It's getting old. It is. It is. And people leaving my chat because they don't like what I have to say is getting old too. Anyway, I said I would hold the president accountable, and I have held him accountable. I don't agree with him giving weapons to Ukraine. Yeah, Richard, that's what happens. Not a fun experience. Yeah, no, they impact. Yeah, I don't know what team they have. Everything posted on their posts, I get all I need to know. Gordon, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very humbling. But I mean, you guys are welcome to read and listen to whatever you want. I don't tell people unless I know it's fake, and then I'll tell you it's fake. But I don't have to identify a lot of fake stuff. A lot of stuff it's pretty easy to figure out on your own. I had great teeth growing up. Wisdom teeth removed, stump next to the bottom wisdom. Then I had no food. My teeth started going downhill fast. Yeah, Karen. When you go hungry, nutrition's not good. All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. They're called wisdom teeth because you don't get them until you start becoming wise. Once you've reached maturity, you get them. That's why they're called wisdom teeth. Airlink, Lyft, never flown Samair, never flown Lyft, have flown Airlink. Airlink is okay. It's okay. I have to fly them to Uppington. They're the only ones that go to Uppington. Yep. So we've been contacted by dozens of companies in the U.S. who would like to make job offers to South Africans. Apparently they like us a lot, South Africans. If we launch a free jobs portal, the companies where you could make your CV available to these and other employers, what would you do? Submit my own CV, whole family apply, not keen to do this, I already have work there. Huh. Anyway, yeah, so they just posted that. That's 11 hours ago, not just a few minutes ago. Yeah, Case, I guess you still got wisdom. You got those teeth. Yes, George, wasn't very pleasant, I'm sure, man. That's not something I've forgotten. Okay, 5 rounds of Mike Tyson. Yeah, I know some people, they just like pop them right out. And they're gone. And they're like, fine, they're good to go. Although some people get a dry socket. That's a problem. Oof. Tooth knocked out in motor vehicle accident one night. When I saw my dentist the next day, he said if I kept it warm in my mouth and called him, he could have reinserted it. Oh, shame. Looked like a chipmunk. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah. So we started this whole thing with this fake letter. This fake letter that, well, Trump says is fake. But Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal is a disgrace. They're going to get sued. They are going to get sued. Trump is going to take them for a lot of money. So they're going to pay a lot of money for this. That's another thing, Virtual Western Cape. I don't agree with the president's decision to let NVIDIA sell AI chips to China, even if they're specially made for China. I don't buy that. That's just going to let them reverse engineer. So I'm calling Trump on the carpet for that one. That's a bad decision, as is the giving arms to Ukraine. Yeah, but people, this is the Trump love channel. This is nonsense. This is the honest channel, you know, and we tell it like it is. And if you don't like it, well, such is life. Such is life. Got you in time. So, hey, Bonnie Duplessis, how's it? Yep. Ramaphosa never got his wisdom teeth. Teeth brittle due to cancer meds. I'm sorry to hear that, Happy Slappy. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. A restaurant at the Philadelphia airport for amazing prawns. Where's that at? I've been all over the Philadelphia airport. Chris Kruger, good morning to you. All right, guys. Should we do a song this morning? You guys in the mood to create a song before we wrap this thing up? I haven't thought of anything here. How many hours of sleep do I get? Not a lot. I got about a 20-minute nap earlier. I fell asleep watching an old episode of Elsbeth. Yep. Well, give me some ideas. It sounds great, but you got to give me ideas for the song. I mean, I come up with the ideas from you guys sometimes or on my own, and then we generate them. Last night's song came out pretty good. Yeah, it came out pretty good. So the one on Cyril, this needle stuck in the groove. So give me some ideas, guys. Give me some ideas. Something upbeat would be nice. You know, not to talk about all the bad stuff. Something upbeat. Waffle Man I've done already. I already got the Waffle Man. I do think it was a master stroke for Trump getting the EU to pay for weapons, and now the EU says no, no, no. So once again, basically what he said from the start. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Colonel, for all your time and patience. We need some DJ Colonel music before heading off to work. Okay. A Bry song. I got to get out of this place. Oh, I like that. I got to get out of this place. I like that one. I'm going to use that, okay? Should we stay or should we go? No, I can't do copyrighted stuff. All right, so let's do that. Should I stay or I got to get out of this place? That's the line. Okay, let me get there. Got to get out of this place. Okay, let me go to create. Okay. I'll make it. What's that? Oh, got an update. New ways to create. Okay, I want to put country. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's see what's going on here. Create. My button doesn't look right. Okay, I thought it wasn't creating there for a second. It is creating. All right, that one yesterday was Stuck in the Groove. That's the one I did yesterday. I like that one. But some of the songs I did yesterday sucked. They really sucked. So, but only one of them was good. So here we go. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Gotta Get Going. That's what this one's called. Look up, I say this every night. Suno. I've already said it twice in this broadcast. It's not an app, it's a website. Suno.
The veld stretches wide under an endless sky. Golden grass whispers as the wind rolls by. I've walked the Drakensberg, climbed its stone spine, but the road keeps calling. Its voice ain't kind. I gotta get going, can't stand still. The clock keeps ticking and it always will. South Africa, you're a song I'll hum, but the future's out there and I've gotta run.
These are good lyrics. Good lyrics.
The market's alive with 1,000 smells, laughing voices, and stories to tell. I've danced to the rhythms, felt the earth shake, but the journey's ahead, and my heart can't wait. I'll miss the sunsets, the wild and free, but there's something out there waiting for me. I gotta get going, can't stand still. The clock keeps ticking and it always will. South Africa, you're a song I'll hum, but the future's out there and I've gotta run. Goodbye to the brass, the warm red sand,
Supposed to be
to
Bryce.
the echoes of life in this ancient land. I'll carry your spirit wherever I roam, but I can't build my future in a place called home.
That's version 1. I think I want to try to do an Afrikaans song tonight and see if we can actually do it. I doubt it can, but we'll see how good it is. Okay, that one's good. Let's see how this is. You guys like that one. This is version 2. Here we go. That one was really good.
The veil stretches wide
Whoa, I like the voice.
under an endless sky.
I like this.
Golden grass whispers as the wind rolls by. I've walked the Drakensberg, climbed its stone spine, but the road keeps calling. Its voice ain't kind. I gotta get going, can't stand still. The clock keeps ticking and it always will. South Africa, you're a song I'll hum, but the future's out there and I've gotta run. The market's alive.
Yeah, both are pretty good for once, both.
With 1,000 smells, laughing voices, and stories to tell. I've danced to the rhythms, felt the earth shake, but the journey's ahead and my heart can't wait. I'll miss the sunsets, the wild and free, but there's something out there waiting for me. I gotta get going, can't stand still. The clock keeps ticking, and it always will. South Africa, your song I'll hum, but the future's out there, and I've gotta run. Goodbye to the brass, the warm red sand, to the echoes of life in this ancient land. I'll carry your spirit wherever I roam, but I can't build my future in a place called home.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm mic's off. Sorry, I turned it off so you wouldn't hear my typing. I was trying to come up with something here. So let me see if I can't do this, but I can't. It won't let me paste in there. I don't know why. Maybe if I try to put lyrics in. So let's do this. Okay, swap it around. Come on. I came up with some rudimentary lyrics. Hello, what's the problem here? There we go. Jeez, things don't want to paste also. Oh, so that's. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. We'll try it. See what happens. Let me see. I came out with some. Let's see what happens here. I don't know if it's going to work. Just messing around with this. Don't think it's going to work. It's going to probably be a disaster. Let's just see. I'm just playing around with this to see what happens. I want to see if it's going to be a disaster. Okay, so hang on. Let's see what happens. Probably going to be a disaster.
Zuid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn toeiste van zeepont tot Margate. En punten tussenin, ons is liever ons prachtige thee. Waar ons harten volwassen geword het, maar tijd het in ons gedraaid. En de stad om te gaan.
How's that? How's that, guys? What do you think?
Zuid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn thuiste van zeep zeepunt tot Margate en bunte tussenin. Ons is lief vir ons prachtige tijd. Waar ons harte volwassen geword het, maar tyd het in ons gedraai. En dis tyd om te gaan.
Yes, it worked. I wasn't sure I got the Afrikaans right. Here's the second version.
Suid-Afrika, my geboorteplek, my tuiste van zeepunt tot Margate en punte tussenin. Ons is lief vir ons pragtig.
The woman's better.
Tuiste ons harte volwassen geworden, maar tye het in ons gedraai en is tyd om te gaan.
I could have said tied on to trek, but that's Bob from Blair, because I didn't want to steal that.
Suid-Afrika, my geboorteplek.
Yeah, I think she was better.
My tuiste van zeepunt tot Margate, punte tussenin.
Yeah, I think female's better.
Ons is lief vir ons pragtig. Wyster ons harte volwassen geworden.
It's a woman's voice hold. Stop being silly.
In ons gedraai en is tyd om te gaan.
Thank you, Loretta. 35 rand. Not bad, but I like the woman better. So I gave it some limited lyrics. Yeah, I only typed a paragraph and it lasted a minute and a half. So I think 3 paragraphs and I could write a song. So I want to hear the first one again. This one I really liked.
Suid-Afrika, my geboorteplek, my tuiste van zeepunt tot Margate en punte tussenin. Ons is lief vir ons prachtige tijd, waar ons harte volwassen geword het, maar tyd het in ons gedraai.
She's got the G's right.
En dis tyd om te gaan. Suid-Afrika, my geboorteplek, my tuiste van zeepunt tot Margate en punte tussenin. Ons is lief vir ons prachtige tijd, waar ons harte volwassen geword het, maar tyd in ons gedraai en dis tyd om te gaan.
Not bad. Okay. All right, so that one I'm going to do, definitely. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that one. Anyway, so we did one tonight. Accent is close to Afrikaans, though every now and then it sounds like it does. I know with you, Charles. Yeah, especially the first part of that, but when she does it the second time, it does sound a lot more Afrikaans, yep. Igor's impressed. The American with an Afrikaner heart. Well, Afrikaner heart I can't do either, because that's also Bok van Blerk. Tijd om te trek. What a great song that is. I love that song, Tijd om te trek. It's a great song. Yeah. Good morning from Durban, Irene. I think you're making us feel special. Oh, it's my pleasure. Cool beans. Knight just subscribed. Thank you for that. We haven't seen many subscriptions tonight.
Jy sê daar kom 'n oorlog wat diep daar in jou brand. Jy vra kom ek sal.
Bulk van Black. How long is that now? Almost a dozen years ago. Wow. Tied te trek. I love that. Great song.
The fuck? Jy sê dis nie om ons uit mekaar te spat, maar jou woorde aan my wil ek hier agterbly.
Oh, what a great song. What a great song. Yep, always love that one. Cool beans. All right, how we doing over here? Oh, gifted memberships from Tertius. Give it up for DJ Silver Eagle. I second your comment. Thank you. Bulk from Blair. Yep. Posted your video on Kenyan Refugee Agency. Did they really? Well, that's pretty cool. That's nice of them. I just wish they'd let me know about it. That would have been helpful. Not complaining about them, just saying it would have been helpful. So they didn't. I mean, they got their own thing going, so they probably forgot about it. So. Ah, but they posted it, but they didn't put any comment there. Okay, well, it was nice of them, though. Let me go to home. Sir Alpha Carbonara. National Dialogue will run for 12 months. 12 months of non-stop looting. 12 months of campaigning for a dying party. 12 months of a last kick of a dying horse. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Michael O'Keefe and just going on about what's happening in Ireland is right. So this is Ireland, folks. This is Ireland. You ready for this? This is Ireland. Wrong window. There we go. This is Ireland. Ireland. Oh, that was the. Oh, no, got to turn that off. I can't do that. Yep, I can't show that. I'll get in trouble.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ireland.
Just go there.
That's Ireland. One white person. One Irish person.
Where's Gun? There's a big gun. No.
Not a single Irish person. There's one. That goes on for another minute. That's not isolated. That's not isolated. That's Ireland, folks. It's gone. England's the same way. This is a country that banned divorce until 25 years ago, that banned abortion because it was Catholic. It's gone. Yeah, the world is completely messed up. We're trying to fix it here in America. Even the seagull had a Middle Eastern accent. Wow. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Bulk is an awesome Souther. I had the privilege to work with him on a charity event while I was still on the roundtable. Same. Okay, Mr. QB. All right, cool. I had no luck contacting him. I tried to contact him, but his agents are like, they're like pit bulls. Yep. I'll probably get a claim on that for playing that, but I love that song. Yeah, Japan is going the wrong direction too. The Japanese are putting a stop to that now. Ingrid's neither did I. Ireland is one of my homelands, and I've been to Ireland and never seen anything like that. My last time in Ireland was 2017, and I didn't see it like that yet. I don't know how the beaches are in Bolito. Peter says, won't be possible to change anything in America. Oh, it is. It is possible. It is possible. And it's happening. It's happening every day. We've deported 100,000 criminal alien invaders already. 100,000. It's already happening. 100,000 criminal alien invaders have been deported from this country. And as many as 900,000 or a million others have self-deported. Yep. It's happening, folks. It's happening. Japanese rebuilding his military should be concerning. Not at all. Not at all. Japan is not Imperial Japan. Just like Germany is not Nazi Germany. It's not at all. Lolita Kritzinger just gave a membership to Eben Tablanche. Andre Mostert, you're tuning in rather late. Yes, my doctor's appointment went as well as it could. I had x-rays. I have to wait now for a telephonic appointment to talk about them. Folks, please don't forget my videos. I put a video out this morning explaining for the refugees what the real story is behind the Kenyan angle, which I think a lot of people are going to find interesting. So it's early, so it's 7 o'clock on a Friday. People should have gotten there already, so it's not really doing well at the moment. It's doing poorly compared to most of my videos. I thought it would be picking up. Well, it's a long time till Trump's gone, so let's focus on now. Yeah, he is exporting. It's not his criminals. These are criminals who came here. I'm a limper now, says Charles. Okay. Andre says, thank you. Apparently, city pigeons use a different dialect in country cousins. Trump sending hardened prisoners to Swaziland. I feel bad for Swaziland. It's a tiny little place. And, yeah, I'd much rather they sent them to some lovely spot like Darfur. Do you think Scotland will also fall? Well, I mean, Scotland already tolerates a racist, Speaker of the Scottish Parliament. He got booted out finally. That racist. Can you believe that? The police, the Parliament, government offices, over 90% white. Hey, dumbass, you're in Scotland, not in Nigeria, not in Lahore. What do you expect it to be? I'm so sick of this stupid stuff. These morons. You know, Germans, Swedes, Norwegians, Finns, Estonians, Flemish, Welsh, Irish, they deserve their homeland too. Nigerians can go back to Nigeria. Too many adverts. Well, somebody's got to pay the bills. How do you think YouTube makes money? I don't know. Scotland's already fallen, but it's certainly not pretty. But England is such a mess. Such a mess. They arrest English for just being English. Anyway, folks, Sean Patrick Cronje, welcome to you. Got an Irish and an Afrikaans thing going on there. Sean Patrick Cronje, welcome to you. But the Afrikaans one was pretty good, huh? Yeah, the moment you talk about an Afrikaner homeland, all hell breaks loose. Yeah, because they're terrified. They're so terrified. Quid says, YouTube Premium, it stops ads. That's true. Bradford, India. Exactly, Charles. Not Bradford, England. Europe was sold out by overtly liberal policy. Christopher Hitchens once told an Aussie Muslim she should go live in Oman, not Australia, if she wants the Muslim role. Yep, well, Australia is being sold out to the same thing, too. U.S. was sold out, and we're trying to recover it now. Andre Wenzel. Hey, how's it going? Lorenz has to go. Well, I mean, I think you should go too, folks. I mean, I need to wrap up, and I need to do a quick video on the, Ramaphosa excited about the collapse of things. Anyway, I got a video I did two I did yesterday, so check those. I actually published 3 videos yesterday. The one on Emma Powell was stopped at about 16,000. That's disappointing. Wow. Just not getting the views on these videos. Not getting the views. I don't understand why. Anyway, Yeah, so I'm not going to stay up to broadcast the Scotland game. I'll watch it on my TV when I'm lying down. Oh, Lolita, yeah, it's amazing how many houses are for sale because these people are leaving or gone already. People are denying it. I don't understand what that means. Alphabet sells metadata. Oh, they sell metadata. Oh, yeah. Well, Holden, if they want content creators, the content creators have to have an incentive to come to the channel. Otherwise, people won't bring their content, and then there'll be nobody watching YouTube. So the ads aren't just for them to make money. It's also for the content creators to make money. Do you begrudge content creators making money? Anyway. Well, I don't care about the ads. I just skip them or I watch them so the content creator makes money. It's annoying when it's in the middle of something like a live stream. I get that. But prepared videos, not a big deal. You don't miss anything. 5 units for sale in our complex, for sale in a 20-unit complex. There you go. See? People are trying to get the hell out. You guys are very welcome. Thanks for being here. I had a hard time getting it at 110,000. All right. You guys take care. No, YouTube was not ad-free long ago. YouTube has had ads for 5 years. I've been doing these videos, and it had them for long before that. I've had a YouTube account since 2006, and YouTube, when Alphabet bought them, they went to a model where they added ads. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, Holden. I don't know what planet you're living on, but it's not long ago. I don't know what not long ago is to you, but 5 years to me, that's how long I've been putting stuff on here. Yeah, it's got a lot more ads. People are putting a lot more money on there, so that's why. All right, guys, thanks. Have a good night. Appreciate it. And thanks for being here. And have a good night. Appreciate you all. So if you don't like my view on Epstein, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own view. All right? Cheers.